Hey YouTube, if you are looking for a Master Premier League, this is one of them. So I just did Master League, and this is honestly going to be my one and only. There are, if you watched my top teams video yesterday, first of all, I think there's more people watch my Great League top teams video, even though Great League was just out. So I think more people are playing Great League, and rightfully so. It's easier, accessible. The other thing I said in my Master Premier thing is that there are 10 to 12 Pokemon, and that makes up the entire meta. And that is exactly what I saw today, 10 to 12 Pokemon. So I actually started with Double Dragon. So this is my third team, and it worked okay, and then I'm not doing it anymore. I started with Double Dragon, Gudra, Dragonite, and Metagross lead. I saw so many Excadrills on the lead. So then I went to Double Steel, Gudra Double Steel, right? So Dragonite Double Steel was one of the oldest things in the book. It was super, super strong. Gudra should be an increase, right? It just didn't work. So then I actually went against this team from someone else. I ran into this team. Another user were using it. Gudra, Excadrill, Florges. I'm like, you know what? This is a nice balanced team, right? Gudra's generally safe. And then worst case scenario, you have Excadrill, which is a decent safe swap in this meta, can usually grab shields. And Florges is a nice back end. So used it again, did okay, nothing amazing, nothing bad, enough to show you. So again, bad lead. We're going straight into Excadrill, and Goldango is not the answer to Excadrill. I think they misclicked because they also have an Annihilate in the back here. So I'm positive it was just a misclick. So they will go down here. I'll flip switch. I have energy. Out comes what probably was supposed to come in the first time with Annihilate. But now I will ship this, get my Gudra on it, and then just have Florges in the back for the mirror, essentially. So take this, take the move. Don't need to worry about Gudra. Just going down here, take a Shadow Ball. It's not super effective. That was just like a weird thing there. I'm chipping, so I'm not leaving because the Annihilate is super low. But what I want to do is basically get this into Moonblast range because one Moonblast does like 50-ish% in the mirror match, something like that. So if I could chip it enough, I can now just Fairy Wind and Moonblast this down, as opposed to them, which has to Moonblast me multiple times. I mean, we both have 2 shields, so going straight Moonblast here. This will take them out if they let it go. And I think they let it go because it's like one of their only win cons is that I bait. But otherwise, I'm going to win. So I mentioned in my video yesterday that people are either going to be running Gudra everywhere or they're going to be running anti-Gudra. The answer was anti-Gudra. The amount of fairies I saw today was significant. So I tried to use Metagross, but it still like didn't work because there was also like Excadrills everywhere. So between just like a crap ton of fairies, some dragons, Excadrill and Steels to deal with that, I didn't like this meta. So I am going to go back to Great League. So take the move there. They have Breaking Swipe, which is Mud Slap Breaking Swipe. It's an interesting moveset. It's good on grounds and has dragon coverage, so kind of a spicy pick. Takes me low. Primarine comes back in. I do get the Thunder Punch off. These charms are super effective, so I'm going to get out immediately. I wanted to chip here. Same sort of reason. Just put this in range. Unfortunately, they have a Snorlax in the back. And I ran into a few Snorlaxes today. Very tricky Pokemon in this meta. It kind of deals with everything, right? There's obviously like some Annihilapes, but outside of that, there's not a lot of fighters. So it's a nice Pokemon to have kind of as a safe swap. It worked pretty well. Every time I went against it, I was like, oh, this thing's so tanky. And all of them, actually, no, one was a shadow, a couple non-shadows though. I'm going to double shield here because Primarina, I'm more worried about the waterfalls. That if this thing body slams me to the yellow, then they're just going to waterfall me down, which is why I'm shielding. And then I make a catch because I kind of have to. So it was a good catch there. But I still need to commit to the farm down. And out comes the Primarina. Looked like a second charm got through. And then they take me out here, unfortunately. Gudra, mirror match. So again, with this team, you don't really need to leave unless it's a fairy. If it's a fairy, I left. If it's anything else, I stayed. There was a lot of fairy leads, so I was leaving a lot. But otherwise, I'll just stay. Mirror match here. You don't have charge moves for each other, so you're just throwing resisted moves. That's fine. You're just... I have a hundo. It's not best buddied or anything. They have a hundo as well. And I win with like 1 HP, so I don't know what happened here. So... Oh, they get off the Thunder Punch and I get off the Aqua Tail. I think it's the same damage per energy, so I don't know what happened here. Anyways, sorry. Win with 1 HP. They come in, Metagross, so I'm glad I won with 1 HP because now I get alignment here. And what do they have in the back? Another Snorlax. So I'm going to chip. I'm building up a lot. Oh, I was going to say, I could have chipped, but same outcome. I'm going to chip it on the back end anyways. Not chip it, I'll take it out on the back end. So I'm just going to come in here, Florges, start Moonblasting, chip this as much as I can, save shield for Excadrill. Excadrill is loaded with energy. Basically force the Snorlax to dump a bunch of energy here while I'm just trying to do as much damage as I can with Florges, knowing that Excadrill is the win con on this team right now against a Metagross that has nowhere to go, and a Snorlax which is going to be down shields or down health. They decide double shield. They're going to have to throw, so I'm going to get to a move here. So they do throw, but now I'm almost at 2 drill runs, plus they have a Metagross, plus I got 2 shields. So this game is over. So here comes the first drill run. I'll farm and shield. So I'm already out of move, but no, there's no point of throwing it. I've got 2 shields. Let's start using them. Let's farm energy. Let's make sure I always have 2 coming out. Or like up to 2 moves here. It's not coming out, but 2 moves. So get off his drill run. Don't even think this is enough to take it out. Okay, so it is just enough. And then yeah, shield advantage against the Snorlax. They're gonna have time. Here's another fairy. Like people are getting off the board here with these fairy picks. Again, still Excadrill has always been a good save swap, and if you played this team back in the day, not this team, but if you played the Dragonite Double Steel team back in the day, Excadrill has always been a good save swap in the Premier. So I don't think that's changed. I enjoyed using, like, I never felt in a bad scenario. Like, I mean, I had bad matchups. Like, there's an Annihilate out there, and there's the Mud Slaps, and there's Waterfall users with, could be Waterfall Gyarados or Primarina, but I never felt like I was, like, scared going into Excadrill, like you could be other Pokemon. So, unfortunately, I really thought this drill run would take out. And it got to like 1 HP, but now they're at 2 HP. Unfortunately, 1 HP would have taken them out with a Mud Shot, but now they got to another move and take me out. So I'm down shield and I lost switch, so this game's over. And now I'm back on my back on the fairy here, so I'm just gonna Aqua Tail just to try and get it within disarming voice range, but this game's over. And it is a Skeledirge in the back, so we are just looking at a really, really, really rough team. Comp alignment there. Another fairy. This is what I'm saying. The fairies were, I said in my video, you're either going to go fairy, you're either going to go Gudra, or you're going to go anti-Gudra immediately, or you're going to go anti-anti and start going after the fairies. And I should have taken the anti-anti because I was right. It was primarily fairies everywhere today. Which, yeah, I'm not playing in a meta with like 14 Pokemon that is dominated by fairies. Like, no. I will go back to Great League. So, this will be my only Master League team. And then, yeah, this will be my only Master League team. I got a couple Great Leagues already shot from viewers. Again, I will showcase Master League teams if you send them to me. So if you send me a Master League team, I will showcase it. I really don't want to play this anymore, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll be back in the Open Master League, but until then, as long as there is a Great League option, let's play the Great League option. So they can Moonblast me. It will not take me out. Like I said, that's like 50%. Maybe a little more, but I will take them out here. I've got some energy on Excadrill. I still have a full health Gudra. So I would not be surprised. Oh, I chip here. I would have chipped. So they have to see it. They have to throw, which means they're dry, which means I can now come extra draw with energy. I think I'm extra with energy. Get this rock slide off. Do I stay and force them to throw, or do I just go straight Gudra? Stay and force them to throw the Aqua Tail. Then I try and catch. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Farm up and then try and catch a resisted Aqua Tail. But like this thing's so low, I could have just came in here and ended the game anyways. So Dragonite, advantage Dragonite because it actually has a charge move that is super effective as opposed to resisted. You do get to the moves first, but what good is that when they are resisted? So I will shield the Dragon Claw. Out comes Ursaluna. I ran into a couple of these, which I did not like it when I played with it last time, but both times, like, maybe because the meta was so dominated by Gyarados last time, but now it's dominated by Fairies, so maybe, and Dragon, so maybe it's a little different now with Ursaluna. Again, I'm not going to test it, but I just don't like the fast move Tackle on Ursaluna. But it has Ice Punch, right? So there just takes out my Dragon. Gotta come Florges because it also has... Tackle's resisted, but it has high horsepower, and I really don't want to play that bait game of high horsepower versus Ice Punch. So I'd rather just come in here, take the move here, throw the Disarming Voice. Also kind of tanky. Does not take out, unfortunately. I thought it would, and I thought a couple Fairy Winds would take it down. They literally survive with... You can't even see the health. So that's annoying. And Metagross in the back. So now we're back on the Dragonite here. Now the question is, can I get to the second rock slide before they take me out with a superpower? And I'm out of move. And they do go superpower. Again, I'm not counting their moves. I should be. But I just go by feel. And I felt like I could do it. Going by feel is not a winning strategy, just FYI, but it's what I've been doing for 19 seasons now, so that is what we are going to continue to do. I'll maybe eventually learn how to do it. I will go down here, but I do have a move banked on Florges, so I will get it off immediately as soon as I come in, and it is low enough that a resisted Moonblast will take this out from this range. So Excadrill on the lead. Definitely what I'm going to stay at. It'll probably, Drill Run will probably do like 50, 60%. Maybe 50. Gudra's kind of tanky. Yeah, not even. Gudra's really tanky. I forgot how shanky Gudra is. So I get the Aqua Tail off, which is super effective, so that's nice. They'll get a second one off here, which is okay. I'll live. I do shield though because it would put me in like the deep red. I have a lot of energy, so out comes a Gyarados with that when I have energy. So this is nice because I can get the Thunder Punch off. I'm hoping I can get the second one off. Oh, they let it go too. I was actually surprised that that Thunder Punch did that little on Gyarados. Gyarados is not a bulky Pokemon, and that is a double super effective Thunder Punch. It is half water, half flying. So that is double super effective, and it did like 60%. I was actually like really disappointed in that Thunder Punch. I thought double super effective, but I guess it's the same in like Great League on Mantine. Like a double super effective Thunder Punch on Mantine does like 50-60% too. So Thunder Punch gives you coverage, but and it's, yeah, sure, it's better. It gives you huge coverage against Gyarados, but it's just like, man, I really thought it'd be better. Togekiss comes in on the back end here, which is unfortunate because I'm in the yellow here. Oh wait, no, I still have my Excadrill. Never mind. I thought I had my Gudra. I have my Excadrill, so good lead. No, bad lead, terrible lead. Again, lots of fairies. Now we'll get hit with a Garchomp. Only saving grace is that it's a Dragon Tail Garchomp. They'll still get to the Sand Tombs, but Sand Tombs won't take me out. So I will grab at least one shield here, but once they Sand Tomb me and lower my defense, I'm basically going to just be overpowered, even with resisted Dragon Tails. I guess if I shielded, I could have, but again, they have not shielded, so I'm not going to shield first. Because I'll grab a shield here. And I'll get a second one here. And we CMP. And I'm at 1 HP. I've got to do that. I'll talk about when am I going to do that, and how am I going to get the second person to do this. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, so people who want to watch these battles can just watch the battles. So come in here, Florges, get ahead on energy, throw out a Disarming Voice, take this out. They had a fairy on the lead, and they have a Gyarados in the back, and unfortunately that Gyarados is Waterfall, which just makes that much this much a little bit trickier for me. So they let that go. Now I gotta just sacrifice this, try and chip as much as I can on this fairy, knowing that I'm gonna get hit here pretty hard. But I'm just trying to take it low enough that I can just like Moonblast. Maybe hopefully Disarming Voice. Hopefully I live this and get another Aqua Tail off just to put in Disarming Voice range as opposed to Moonblast range. So they Moonblast, I live, I get to the Aqua Tail. This will put it in the yellow, so it should be Disarming Voice range. But they can just farm down and we'll have energy coming out, which means I need to start shielding. Especially with a Waterfall Gyarados, right? Because the Waterfalls are going to add up real quick. So I need to just shield every move here. Unfortunately, they are probably really far ahead on energy. Yeah, so now I'm just going to get outpaced to moves here. They do Moonblast, though, so that's a little helpful. So I tried to farm as much as I could. But if they let this go, they still have a shield for Gyarados. And the Waterfalls and Aqua Tail should take me out before. Yeah, they're already at an Aqua Tail. Won't take me out, but 1 or 2 Waterfalls will after. Maybe 3. So I get 1 off, but I'm not going to get to a third. I need like 4 more fast moves to get to this. Oh, what are you doing? Okay, I don't know why they didn't shield. Another Florges. Like, this is what I'm talking about. How many... I had Goodra lead, and I probably had... I'm showcasing 9 battles. 6 or 7 fairies. Right? So, I think that was also part of my frustration, right? I ran 3 teams, and I could not get anyone to really work when the meta's so limited. And again, I started Double Dragon. I guess I should not be surprised because I started Double Dragon, and I saw a ton of fairies. So, it's not surprising that I'm seeing a ton of fairies here, too. The fact that they're all in the lead... when Goodra's on the lead is annoying, but I should not be surprised that there's a lot of fairies. So if you are going to play this meta, maybe it'll adjust in the next couple days, but just be aware that it's very fairy heavy right now. And again, if it's fairy heavy, it's also Excadrill heavy because you're partnering your Excadrill, your fairy with an Excadrill because fairy's going to worry about Metagross and stuff and steals. So Excadrill is just like the best answer. So build for that if you are going to play. So get in here with the Florges. Going to shield. No idea what's in the back yet. But I'm not liking my chances. They just bait me Disarming Voice. And again, it is the biggest Ursaluna I've ever seen in my life. This must be an XXL. Because it is really in my face. Look how friggin' big that thing is. It's almost touching me. Like, go away. So get the Moonblast off. They shield. That animation is wild. That tackle animation is a 1-turn fast move, so it just is crazy. Do shield up a high horsepower, so that's nice. Should get to a move, but obviously you saw again the leg is pretty bad right now. Look how much this is freezing on me. They come back in Florges, freeze, get to a move, but can't get it off because of the game. I mean, they may have fairy wind me down there, but like, just how many times it like stuttered there is brutal. Disarming Voice leaves them with 1 HP and they live, and now that was kind of the story of the day. Like, maybe I'll go back to this again, but like, that was the story of the day. The story of the day was like, fairy leads constantly into my Goodra. Everything living with 1 HP and getting the like second or third charge move off, and it was just a constant like things were not going my way today in Master League, and that's just a product of like some unluckiness and some like there's only 12-13 Pokemon in this meta, so yeah, you're bound to see it's very like when there's only 12 to 13 Pokemon, it is more RPS than when you have more options. Because there's just a triangle, right? There's the dragons, which do well against most things, and then there's the fairy to beat the dragons, and then there's the steels to beat the fairies, and then there's like some fighters and odd stuff to beat this, and Gyarados and stuff, Waterfall Gyarados to beat the steels. And then there's your trifecta. That's basically the Master League. So that is it. Stay tuned for a Great League video this afternoon from a subscriber. I believe I shot 2 subscriber submitted videos today for this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. And tomorrow afternoon, all times I haven't been timestamping most of them. Just again, I'm just so busy with work right now, so I don't really have time to even go through and timestamp matches and stuff like that. But I'll timestamp this tomorrow afternoon one, because it's like a 30-minute video, but 18 minutes of it is the battles, and the last like 10 to 12 minutes are talking about New York Go Fest. So definitely timestamp that, just so people know like that's what's happening on the back end here. So that is it. Thanks for watching. If you are playing Master League, let me know what team you used, because I think this team actually is good. It's balanced. It covers everything. If anything, maybe I go Florg is on the lead and Gudra and Extra on the back to cover each other off. But again, I think it's just a mixture of like unlucky and small meta. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.